This is a Canon RF 24-105 F4 L IS USM lens. This lens is really spectacular. I think that this lens is a sweet spot for anyone who really want to get a do-all lens, an all-rounder lens that you need for your videography and photography needs. This is Abiku. Welcome to the channel. Subscribe and let's do the unboxing review of this lens to see what exactly is in this box. To open it, you have this. You have your warranty card, which is specifically meant for those in the US and Canada only. These are the things that you're going to find within this lens. Now let's look at it one after the other. So this is a lens hood, EWA3N, the lens case. So they give you a case that you can use in carrying this lens around. So you have this case over here, and you also put it aside, and then the lens itself. Put also here. This is the lens hood that you're going to get out of this. And with this, you have a locking mechanism over here that can enable you to lock it onto the lens. You look at that in a jiffy. Put the lens inside it, and let's say for example you put the lens inside it this way. Okay, it comes with this. You pull it like this, and there you go. This is a Canon RF 24-105 IS USM lens. This lens is quite an impressive thing. So with this lens, you have so much to go in for. When you put the lens hood on this lens like this, you rotate it like this, it automatically locks or gets locked. So what you can do is, this is the locking that you have on the lens hood. So you press on it and then you rotate it and then you take it. Let's put it on like this and then it locks. Once it snaps like this, you cannot be able to take it out of the lens. So unless you use this lens unlocking mechanism over here to take it. You have the lens cap, which is just the E77 Mark II. So this is the lens cap over here, and then this is the lens dust. So you move that one also over here, and then now you have your lens in itself. So this lens is just incredible. It's so beautiful. The build quality is amazing. It is incredible. You hold it, you can feel some kind of a heft or a weight with this lens, and then it has this kind of creaking sound with it. That means that this lens has a lot embedded in it. This lens has a focal range of 24-105 at a constant aperture of f4. So at f4, I think most people would agree that f4 does not really allow a lot of light to come into this lens, but this lens is really sharp, and this is a full frame. So if you pair with the full frame camera, you are going to get an incredible kind of output from this lens. And the fact that this is at f4, it means that most videos that you see, especially most movies, are shot at f4. So f4 is not bad at all as a lens. This is a video centric, at the same time a photography centric lens, and so this lens is giving you an amazing level of sharpness. The colors out of this lens is just so sweet. It looks quite beautiful. It is gorgeous. The lens offers 5 stops of image stabilization. So with this lens, you can see around it you have the autofocus and then the manual focus switch, which is built into the lens over here, and at the same time too, you also have the image stabilization, which is on and off image stabilization. So it means that you have 5 stops of image stabilization. So when you pair it with, let's say for example, the Canon R6 Mark II, which also has image stabilization built into it, you are getting an incredible level of image stabilization with this kind of combo. The lens is going to stabilize a lot of the footage, and so you are going to get crisp, sharp, vivid, rich, and highly detailed image out of this. Look at the other side, you have the lock mechanism. So you have a lens lock over here. Now when you lock this, it means that you will not be able to zoom in and out of this lens. You have the focus ring, which you can map it to any kind of thing that you really want with this lens. The focus ring here feels very tactile, especially when you move it around. The build on this lens is just remarkably great, and then the focus range that you have is really amazing. It zooms in and out. There's no friction attached to it. It is not also really fluid. Then it has a bit of resistance, and that gives that kind of premium build with this lens. This lens is built remarkably well. So it is water and dust proof, and so it means that in rainy showers, in shower conditions and all that, you're going to be able to get this lens to use. You're not really going to have any major issues with this lens. This lens is one of Canon's premium level build lenses that you're going to have. This is an L lens, so the L series have this kind of red ring around it, and I see why a lot of people really went for this lens at the expense of the current build one that has the f2.8, which is quite expensive. The price point of this lens and the quality that Canon has factored into building this lens is one of a kind. It also has a 12-pin communication system which accelerates the autofocus, image stabilization for reliable user experience, exposure control and all that, or for white balance and all that. This lens is giving you a plethora of experience shooting with it. It also has a 9 circular blade, which is a 9 circular aperture blade at the background that are going to become circular in size, which are not going to have that kind of onion-like kind of shape and all that. This is going to give you almost smooth output in terms of the background bokeh. It's also really built like a tank. Weight is about 1.4 pounds. So when you hold it like this and you weigh it, you can see that this lens is a bit hefty, but it's not that heavy relatively compared to its counterpart or sibling, that is the f2.8 version. It has a dimension of 3.3 by 3.3 by 4.2 inches. So this lens is not all that tall, very easy to carry along. When you zoom in, you start to see that this lens rise up a bit in terms of the length and then in terms of the height. Put it out like this, you can feel a little bit of weight at the top of the lens. So you can feel that the weight has shifted from the bottom over here to the front over here. So let's say, for example, if you put it on a tripod, you need to look at how you can balance it well, otherwise it can taper on the front. When paired with an RF body like the Canon Access Mark II, for instance, if you put this lens on it, this is how it's going to be. This lens feels so great on this camera. It looks like it was meant or built for this camera. So when you look at it, when you hold it like this, and let's say, for example, going for a photo shoot, it have a bit of weight around it. I mean, I'm someone that would not have a lot of heavy hands and all that, so I can understand why I feel that this lens is a bit heavy with the Canon RF Mark II, but I feel that it's also premium quality build, and standing outside and going to shoot with this lens will feel so great. This lens also has a 77mm filter thread. So the lens itself over here is 77mm in terms of the filter. So for example, if you buy a filter and then you want to put on it like this hider, polarizer, and at the same time a variable ND filter, so this is a 77mm. So when you stack on it like this, it's going to feel this quite amazing. This lens is just really nice. I mean, look at how this combination looks like. So this is the Canon RF 24-105 f4 lens, shooting at f4 and at ISO of 250. This is just the video test to see how this lens performs in terms of autofocus. So if I come close to it, you can see how the autofocus is. My face is really stark, sharp, bright, and all that. Paired with the Canon R6 Mark II, so you can see that you are going to have an excellent performance in terms of this. So now we are at 35mm f4.0. It's really sticky, especially when it paired with a Canon R6 Mark II. Really sticky onto your eyes. At f4, also 50mm, and you can see how it zooms in and then pulls the subject closer to it. Subject here. Let's see if it focuses on it. So this is at 70mm f4.0, and with 70mm you can see how it has really focused on my face, showing all the imperfections and blemishes on my face. And you can see how it also has pulled the background to come really closer to where I am seated. 5mm on this Canon RF 24-105. Now you can see a lot of the bokeh. Come closer to 105 and see. So this is at 105 at 45mm. So I didn't think you're going to really go wrong with this lens. This lens is going to give you an amazing level of quality and details that you're going to find with this lens. This is super great, especially if you're recording in a studio environment like this, where if you have minimal amount of light, you are going to really enjoy this lens. This lens is going to give you absolutely detailed shot. I really am looking out for what this lens will do. So I'm going to show you some videos and pictures that was shot with this lens. I mean, let's go into the field and work out. Using it over the period now, I can see why a lot of people prefer this lens, because I mean the image out of this is just so smooth and so nice. Thanks for watching this video. Subscribe to the channel if you have not already, and I'll see you in the next video. Peace out.